2, 1.
What's up, y'all? What's up? It's Justin and Allen, aka JDA, and this is what we do at NSU. I've been trying to get this podcast done over months, posting on my story, networking, and everything, but now it's finally here. And on my birthday of all days. So every time we look back, it's going to be on the anniversary of every year I was born. Let's get into it. All right, this podcast is about to be about talents, influencers, artists, sports. I mean, athletes. Anybody who is doing good at the HBCU and actually not sitting on their ass all day in their dorms not doing shit, because that's weird. But when you want to know who the guest is, obviously you might know her. She's a future tennis superstar. She lives here. She's from out west, but she came all the way to Virginia. And now, here I'm going to introduce Breana Cook.
Hi, everybody.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am honored that you were my first guest. I thought of you because the first time I saw you, I knew that you had that spark, that spark. Like, you had it. And
Thank you.
like, you were an athlete, you came from the West, and now you're here, and now you're still pursuing your dreams. And let's get started. All right. So, tell me about your upbringing. Like, where'd you grow up?
Okay, so I'm from Long Beach, California. Okay, we'll stop right there. Hold on. We're not gonna start over, but just stop right there. Let's press again. Okay, you want me to look at the camera or you want me to look at you?
Me, because that would kind of be weird, like you looking at the camera.
Okay.
Yeah, just do it like a normal conversation.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me when you're ready to start. Just send the
How we
question.
gonna edit that?
You gonna cut it out and then put the part in.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to say the question again whenever she starts.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So, Bree, what was your upbringing like? Where are you from?
Okay, so I'm from Long Beach, California. Coming from a single family household, 2 older brothers. Growing up in Long Beach, it was hard. I wouldn't say, it wasn't the best of area that I grew up in, in the hood, Northside Long Beach. Y'all don't know nothing about that, but it's worse than Norfolk, whatever. But yeah, I grew up in that area, and I mean, it was good growing up with just my mom and stuff. But yeah, it was cool.
Cool. You have any siblings?
Yeah, 2 older brothers, and then I have 5 stepsisters.
Dang. So was it like competitive and all that stuff? Were y'all all athletes?
Yeah, my brothers. Not so sure so much about my sisters, but my brothers were. My oldest brother, he played football and track, and then my middle brother, he did baseball.
Oh, nice.
But the age gap is there. I'm the youngest. I'm 18. They late 20s, 30s.
Wow.
So yeah, it wasn't no competition really, because I wasn't even born when they was really competing for it.
It's kind of a weird comparison that you're from LA and you play tennis, and you know how Serena and Venus, they came from Compton and they play tennis. So where did that tennis thing come from? When did you know you want to do tennis?
Okay. So my parents, they put me in every single sport. You know how parents be like, you gonna try this, you gonna try this,
exactly.
Figure it out. So they put me in tennis, and at first I thought it was cool, and then I kept doing it and I liked it. So then I was like, Mom, I want to play tennis, and that's where it came. And then I started watching Serena and everything. I'm like, I want to be just like her. So it's been up from there.
How did it feel? Where do you get your passion from? When you take that court, where did that confidence come from?
I would definitely say just because I'm a competitive person. Whatever I do, I want to win.
Right.
So that's where it comes from. When I get on that court, I want to whoop somebody's butt. So that's what I'm gonna do.
That's what you gotta do.
Mm-hmm.
So who are your idols in the sport? Other than
Yeah, we already know Serena for sure. I definitely look up to Coco, even though she's younger than me. But what she's doing at such a young age, that's very inspiring.
Yeah,
so definitely her. Yeah, definitely her, and I'll definitely say Osaka as well. Naomi Osaka, she's an inspiration as well, because the beginning of her career, she wasn't really that good, and it took that breakout. When she won that first U.S. Open, that was her breakout moment, and it was just inspiring for that as well.
Yeah, breaking a lot of barriers too. As you know, Naomi Osaka is she what do you call it? Blazing.
Yeah, blazing.
Yeah, she's blazing, and she's doing it for both sides. So hands up, Naomi Osaka. If you see this, shoot, So mental health is a crucial thing in the sport. You got to get your mental right. You got to get everything, because everything's intense. So you had Simone Biles and Naomi Osaka having to drop out of their respective competitions because of their mental health and depression. What did you think about that? How does that how does mental health come to you when you're in the game? Like, you're not feeling it. Like, how's that?
I would definitely say mental health is a major part of tennis. Like, if you don't have mental health in tennis, you're not going to succeed. And I could see like why Naomi Osaka had to step away from the sport, because with her, like in college, like not many people watch us compared to like thousands and thousands of people watching her, and all the murmurs and people like saying negative remarks about her and stuff like that. Like, remember, I don't know if you saw when she won the U.S. Open, like people were booing her.
Right.
Like that was, I would cry too. I would cry too. Like, so I see why like the pressure was too much for her. But for me, the way I combat that, I just like try to tune everything, like the whole surroundings out, just focus on my game, because you're gonna make a mistake regardless. Like, you're not gonna win every point. Like Serena doesn't win every point, but it's the way you bounce back that's important. And I just had to like bounce it out of my mind that I lost that point and move on. Because if I don't, it'll mess up the whole game.
Exactly, man. Keynote: do not stay in that spot.
Do not.
Like, if you have something to let out, you better let that out, because you're gonna break down, or you're gonna get put in a big like hole of depression. You don't want that. So
yeah, that's why when you hit, you gotta exhale. You hear them making those loud grunt noises.
Exactly.
Staying calm.
Yeah, man, that's great. I like your insight about that. So, what does your daily schedule look like?
Okay, I'll say Monday through Friday. Okay, so my schedule's a little different from last year. Last year I had classes in person.
Right.
This year I put them all online to
Wow.
better with my schedule, and plus I was homeschooled prior to this, so I was homeschooled throughout high school, so I didn't go to high school.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, I didn't go to high school. Everything was online for me, so I transitioned all my classes online here because I'm used to it.
Right.
So that's my comfort zone, what I prefer. So I'll get up. Monday, Wednesdays, I have weights, like conditioning, lifting inside Gil's gym.
Right.
So I do that. We do it for an hour, and I come back, shower and everything. Then do a little bit of work, and then I have practice 1 to 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, shower and everything, get back to work. And
Right.
then if I have time, I'll go out with my friends, Saturdays, Sundays, outside. But
Does that like take a toll on you every day, like having to work as hard as you got to?
it does, but I definitely say that's why I put my classes online.
Right.
I didn't want to
Right,
have
right.
to get up at a certain schedule to go to class, or wake up at a certain time. So that's why I definitely put my classes online. And I feel like it's easier and it's way more flexible for me. So yeah.
So how did that, like, being homeschooled through high school, how did that like miss like pep rallies, like football games,
Yeah,
prom, all that
yeah.
crap? Like, how did missing that like affect you?
So I started in 8th grade.
Uh-huh.
So I went to school, elementary school, middle school, until 7th grade. I started in 8th grade. My mom pulled me out because she didn't like how there was no flexibility. Like, you're in school for like 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours, and then you come back and have to do all this work. Like, you don't have time for extracurricular activities. So she didn't like that. So she pulled me out, and at first I was mad, because like I'm gonna miss all my friends, losing all my friends, my social life and everything. But then like later on, I understood like, oh, like once you have all that free time, you can really develop yourself. So that's how I was really able to, I would say, leap in tennis. Because if I would have still been in like high school and still trying to play tennis, I probably wouldn't be here on the scholarship,
Right.
So but yeah, it was a sacrifice. I wanted to go to prom. I wanted to have a graduation.
COVID, everything.
All the dances. It wasn't even just COVID. Like, I could have still did it,
Right.
but I didn't because I had to go to school. And like, I don't know. It was a sacrifice. I definitely feel like I'm making it up now that I'm here, because I go to parties,
Right.
they have the little dances and stuff. I feel like I'm making it up, and I feel like I didn't miss as much because COVID years. So.
Right, yeah. See, in Virginia, we only have a homecoming dance or nothing like that. Prom. We have one dance, prom, especially.
Y'all have prom?
We had prom, but that's about it. That's the only dance we get and nothing like that.
And no spring dance.
No. We're really boring in Suffolk and 7-5.
No formal.
No. Well, I had a formal back in 8th grade, but that was like, I didn't get to go to prom. That don't really count. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty much, you had to alleviate everything else and like put all your eggs in just one thing.
100%. I had to go straight to tennis. Like, my mom told me, like, do you want to do tennis for real? And I said yes. So she took me out of school, and I started taking tennis seriously. Practicing all the time, traveling for tournaments, stuff like that. So
You think there would be a biopic about your career?
I wish. I hope so.
like King Richard, like which is Oscar winner Will Smith. We
Amazing
still love you,
movie.
baby.
Everybody go see it.
Yeah, King Richard. So do you want that?
I want that. I do. It's definitely gonna take some work.
Of course,
For
of
sure.
course.
And I feel like last year was like my transition year with playing at a collegiate level. So this year is my year for real. So sophomore, junior, senior, it's my year, and then I'm gonna transition into that pro. And we're gonna see how it goes. And hopefully I can be up there with Osaka and Coco and all.
Exactly. Quick ad. All American Homecoming is dropping next month. Go watch that. That's
Yes,
better than
sir.
All American. Way better right
Yes,
now.
sir.
Like you got characters like
And
some
y'all
own
like-
Dame. You know. Wait, what?
Yeah.
You in there?
Maybe.
Oh shoot! Who knows? I know you. I see.
Yeah.
All right. So how do you balance being a student athlete?
Okay. I wouldn't say it's difficult, but at the same time, it's not as difficult as people make it seem. It's really all about time management. If you have time management and you're organized, it'll be easy. You just have to be able to separate that social life, athletic life, and academic life.
Right. Like splitting it up and everything. Like I know that's probably hard being in college also, especially.
Yeah. But if you're able to do that, and make sure you get ahead of your stuff. Like if you're an athlete, if you wait till the last minute and you got games and stuff, you're not gonna get your work done.
Right. So we all know Serena Williams. She's come like from kind of with her sister. They were always like kind of in competition with each other, even though like they would do doubles and still win that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were still great. Like after like 23 Grand Slam titles and pretty much being arguably the best tennis player of all time, do you think anybody could even get to that level or like even be considered in competition with her as a GOAT?
In the open era right now, I don't see anybody coming even close.
Not even Osaka.
Especially after what I seen last night. She only played 6 games this year, and she just beat the number 2 girl in the world in her prime.
That's
and Serena is how old? Like 40 something.
Yeah, way
She's
past
40
her
something.
prime.
Only played 6 games this year and still whooping.
It's crazy because, like, after she had her baby, it was kind of like, you know, she kind of was getting out of her prime and she couldn't really play as much or keep the stamina.
But I feel like she ain't got nothing to lose and she ain't got nothing to prove because she already did that, so she could just play however she wants.
Exactly. There you go, man. Serena Williams. Hope you see this one day. So, why NSU?
Why NSU? Okay. This is a great story, okay?
All right.
Nobody get mad at me. Okay. First of all, I did not apply to any HBCUs. I really didn't. I was always talking about, I want to go to HBCU, and I never applied to any. And I think that's because like I started applying to colleges late,
Right.
and at the same time, my parents didn't want me to go out of state, so I was only applying to schools in California, and I wanted to play tennis in college. I knew that, and the offers I was getting in California was only D2, D3, and I'm like, I know I can do better than that. Like,
Exactly.
I know I can do better than that. And I was almost solidified on going to Cal State LA, which is a D2 school. And then the ex-coach here, Larry Holmes here, reached out to me via email talking about, I would love for you to come play for NSU. And I'm like, NSU?
What is that?
What's NSU? So I look it up, talking about Virginia. I told my mom, she like, Virginia? And my dad was like, you're not going.
He was like, that out-of-state tuition, man. You think...
And he was like, that's too far. That's on the other side of the world. And I'm like, please, like, let's just give it a visit, So we talked to him. We flew out for an unofficial visit, and my dad was sold on it. My mom was sold on it. So the next day, I signed with them, and yeah, that's why I'm here. But also because I wanted to play for my people, I feel like PWIs, they already get enough, recognition. So it's time for HBCUs to get that recognition as well.
So having that, like first judgy view of it, and now where you're at now, like how have you accustomed to like the culture that we have here at the HBCU or NSU in general?
I feel like I adjusted pretty well.
Right.
Being around my people is really, really nice. It's different because like when you're on campus, you see a bunch of us and we can go outside. It's like, oh, it's another
There
reason.
we are.
like you don't know. So it's really good, but you also have to make sure the realities as well. It's like it's not just all pretty and perfect like it is here. But yeah, I feel like I adjusted very well to it.
All right, so I know you probably already answered this, but what other like schools did you want to go to or like get other offers? Like,
my dream was UCLA. I wanted to go to UCLA. I wanted to play for them really bad. I did get into the school. So that was a huge feat because not everybody gets into that school.
Exactly.
They were looking at me, but they were like, you was gonna have to sit out a year. and I didn't want to sit out a year, so
Exactly.
I was ready to go and play. But yeah, that was my dream to play there.
That's great. That's great. Dang, I ran out of questions. I don't know how much I can ask now.
That's whatever.
Oh yeah. So what can you like do to improve your craft now going into your sophomore year? As you know, you were like your freshman year. You said like you were just it was an adjustable period, so you didn't have as great of a season you thought you were gonna have. But now going into sophomore season, when spring comes, how you gonna approach the game? What's your mindset?
For sure gonna get some extra practices in.
Right.
Like freshman year, I feel like, you know, I was adjusting to the college life, you know, going out a lot and wasn't putting as much time into my craft as I know I could have. So definitely getting extra practices in. Taking the games more seriously. I was trying to kind of playing around like at the beginning of the season, like, oh, it's not nothing. But as soon as I get on the court, I'm like, oh, dang, like she's better than I thought. Like,
Right.
not taking it as seriously as I needed to. So when I step on the court, I know it's business and it's business. What else? Just taking it one by one and calming my nerves, because I was very nervous like my first few matches, because like all the people watching me and stuff, like I wasn't used to people watching me for real. So yes, I'll definitely be adjusted to that, and yeah, I think that's it. Mostly nerves though, and mental.
Oh, sorry. So what would you tell like 5-year-old Breana, like of what you become, the woman you become now? Like what would you tell her?
I'll be like, we did it. We did it. Like, we got that D1 scholarship because I always wanted to go D1. And now I'm just waiting for my next goal to go pro. So we gonna see.
So on that note, where do you see yourself like 5 or 10 years from now shooting?
5 years. How old am I? 19. So I'll be like 24.
Yeah.
I definitely see myself graduating from college with that degree, you know, in health service management.
Yeah.
And I definitely see myself on the pro tour, you know. Hopefully by then I'll be like top. I want my goal when I get out of college, play a couple tournaments, you know, get to top 200 so I could be playing those grand slams, like see me on TV
open.
and all that.
The French Open, like see her, she gonna be up there.
Yeah.
I already have confidence.
Yeah, so that's the goal for real. 10 years. Hopefully I'll be married by then. Have some children, maybe. Be up there in the pros, probably
Right.
top 10. Yeah.
Top 10.
Have that baby for me. You know, giving back to my community and everything, and be able to give like my family what they didn't have.
Exactly. That's very inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty much all we got, because I've answered all the stuff you know about her. I appreciate you coming on, you
For
being my
sure.
first guest.
Thank you.
This was
Thank you.
episode 1 of What We Do at NSU. Thank you. This is Breana Cooks. Thank you.